This is Brooke Bartosek, 8th grade social studies teacher at Newton Middle School, and she's going to talk to us today about how she utilizes proficiency scales to give feedback to students in their writing.
The most important thing that I can start with is consistent feedback loop, verbal conversations as a reflection and guided by what students are producing as they try to meet the proficiency scale requirements. So we've started with students writing a thesis statement, which is created from what they're ultimately going to need on the proficiency scale. And when they write their thesis, then they follow a formula. We're using language from the proficiency scale. Every student must come conference with me. And when students conference with me, their first step is to defend each of the 3 criteria that are from the proficiency scale for them to be producing at grade level historical arguments that are reflecting multiple perspectives. Those things that are on the proficiency scale are reflected in the language that I use in this criteria, as well as the verbal conversations that we have. When a student identifies, I believe I have met this criteria, if I see as the professional, I don't think historically or proficiency scale wise, as far as this skill is concerned, that has not been met, then we get to have that verbal conversation about what exact link is missing in their writing that they're not quite getting to that proficiency scale requirement. If a student gets where they need to be and they are receiving all of the criteria, they're getting that checked off from the proficiency scale, they may move on and write their paragraph. If there's even one criteria from the proficiency scale that is not at grade level, then a student will have that conversation with me, like I just expressed, about why that's not quite linking up. They'll go back to their desk, immediately look at, okay, here's what I heard, here's what I did wrong, here's what I need to reflect on. They'll come back and re-conference with me, and they won't write their paragraph until they get into that grade level. All of the criteria have been met. Every student will see in the grade book after we have those conversations that they have received a grade level grade before they write their paragraph. So they're going into that process with confidence, and they're also seeing when I make a historical argument and I'm matching it with the skills in the proficiency scales, then I need to marry those 2 things. So then they see success in the grade book before they continue to move on to the next piece of the process.
So you're giving them immediate feedback, and it's applicable to the skill at hand. How have the students responded to that? Where do you see the impact on student learning?
When they don't see anything go into the gradebook until they have been successful and they've had multiple opportunities to not only speak with me, but let me see their writing, let them talk about their writing in a way that reflects the language of the proficiency scale, it adds to their confidence and it piques their curiosity about what more they could do to dig into the content, because the language of the proficiency scale is prodding them to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Brooke.
Thank
Keep
you.
it up.